Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We got a list of 13 properties, and in less than 24 hours, I'm heading on a plane to Jamaica, and we're going to spend some great family time together. So we are going on a one-week vacation from Milton Daily Homes as well, and I hope you have a great week while we're gone. So we got 13 listings today. We're going to start off with the first one, which is a bank sale. And it's a 4-bedroom condo townhouse, so the price looks pretty competitive. I mean, there's one on Ontario Street listed at $299 right now. Condo fees are $337. So here's the thing. In the US, there's something called a short sale, where basically when the values go down, the owners owe more on the house than it's actually worth. So they basically go to the bank and say, hey guys, look, I can sell it for this much, but it means we both have to take a hit. I'm walking away with nothing. You walk away taking a bit of a hit on what's owed to you. And then there's foreclosures, which is another common thing in the US, where the bank is actually trying to reclaim the property as their own, and then obviously they get any equity associated with it. How it works most of the time in Canada is something called a power of sale, because it's quick, it's faster than a foreclosure, and obviously we're not in a state where a lot of people are upside down on their payments, where the house is actually, generally these homes are worth more than what someone owes. So here's what happens. So the bank says, there's a certain amount owed to us, plus we got to pay a real estate agent, lawyer fees, unpaid taxes potentially, unpaid utilities, anything that's outstanding on the property. We pay all that stuff out at basically a not-for-profit, and then the owner gets to claim whatever's left. That's the essence of the power of sale. And, you know, obviously they need to prove that they've exposed it properly to the market and that they got a fair value for it. So they're not always the great deals that people think they are. There are certain times when they are, for sure. They make you sign a schedule, which sometimes is in direct I guess it's not in alignment with the Ontario standard form. It says, okay, all those warranties you see on that form, doesn't matter. We're not warranting anything. We can also cancel the agreement even up to the last day. So if you've sold your house looking to move into this one, or if a first-time buyer has given their last month's notice, it's not too common, but we do see times when the owners actually come back up with the money and the whole deal's canceled, and they have complete right to do that as per the Schedule B. There's a lot of clauses in here that are probably not to a buyer's best interest, so you want your lawyer to look at this very carefully, and it's just something you need to know about these homes. There's a right way and a wrong way to deal with them, and the lenders can be very difficult to negotiate with from a communication standpoint, from delays and all the rest of it. So I've sold them for lenders before. I've also worked with buyers who bought them. So if you do have any questions about a power of sale process, let us know. The team is definitely equipped to handle that. So Johnson Heights is 405. We saw a very similar model to this one, with the hardwood upstairs, nice finishes in the kitchen. This is a 1370 square foot Emery model, California shutters. We saw a version with a finished basement go recently for over asking up in the teens. So at 405, yeah, we don't have a finished basement, but hey, I think it's priced really well. I think that they took the market information from recent sales and said, hey, here's where it is, and they're going to do well. McCready is 449. And so it's they certainly knew what to do. The owner's an agent, and clearly they're going to be in good shape on this one. Nice looking kitchen, quartz countertops, extra pantry space, pot lights, and they did a bit of work in the back there too. So overall, this one really nothing to complain about. At $450, you start seeing the option for buyers to buy a semi versus an inside town. Now, Cabot Trail, there's some things I like about this one, some things I'm not so crazy about. Recently on Cabot Trail, there was a nicely renovated home that was listed at $469 with a garage. This one doesn't have a garage. It's a back split, 46 by 150. It backs onto the commercial stuff on Main, which is zoned for 4 stories. So you might find that eventually some of those buildings start building upward. So I don't think that's happening short term, but long term it's something to consider. It looks like they've done some renovations in the kitchen, and I do like some of the features here, some of the finishes. I love having the walkout basement. It's very handy to have. And so even though you're backing onto commercial, you're probably 30 feet deeper than most of the other lots in the area. So it's a little bit of that plus minus. $464 is probably not a bad price on this one. It really would depend on how it shows. And there's some things here that you could certainly adjust up or down based on recent sales. Trudeau is 524. It's a Wyndham corner, which is about 1850 square feet or so. No finished basement, and you've got that kind of honey-colored floor, which really doesn't blow people's mind. Obviously, it's better than carpet, but certainly the style is to go to a little bit darker. They almost have like a terracotta tile in the kitchen. I think if you're going to ask this price for this home, it is nice it's back, or it's facing a park, but I think the finishes probably have to be a little bit stronger on this one to get this kind of money. And it is nice that they did the roof, because basically this home is getting up into the age where it's 11, 12 years old. Typically roofs would last 15 or more years, but we're not always seeing that with some of the new developments. Etherington is a Snowberry model, so it's just a little bit over 2,000 square feet. And great finishes inside. They did a good job on this one. This is one I could definitely see sell for $529. About 200 square feet bigger than the previous one. And even though it doesn't have the park influence, the finishes are much better for the same price. And 4-bedroom too if you need it, versus the other one is 3. With a big laundry upstairs. So Bessie Trail is $534,900. So here's another option that you have. You can go double car garage, about 1,900 square feet, and get something like this. So quite a competitive range, right around that $530 number right now. Front living dining plus a kitchen with a family room. And everything looks like it's in good shape. The one thing here is that take the stuff out from beside the fridge when you're taking photos. It's fine for showings, but photos you really got to simplify. That's the front room there, and then you've got a backyard that's a little bit wider because it's on the corner. Nice price on this one. I think this is very much in line with what else they've been selling for. This one on Clark is right around the same size as previous, 1887, within probably 10 or 20 square feet. And $548 is the price, so they're asking a little bit more. Different layout. You don't have really the living dining, you just have a dining, but you have a larger front entrance plus the kitchen and family here. I like this layout slightly more. I like the over cabinet lights with the moldings. That's a nice look under cabinet lighting. So at night this kitchen is going to look really good. And you've got a 120-foot lot too, so a nice big property. For me, that's worth the extra $10,000. So this one gets my favorite pick out of all this stuff in the $5 to $550 range that we're seeing in today's list. Very nice home. I think that extra lot size is extremely valuable. 335 Pringle, it's at $569, and I believe it's a Mattamy house. It's hard to tell with these ones who the builder is. They're very similar. The Mattamy one's called the Upland, and then you also have a Fieldgate Chester, and I just can't recall who actually built this one. The ones, I like some of them better than the others, but I don't want to say which one it is without knowing for sure. Very much in line with what those homes sell for. In fact, it actually looks like a pretty good deal for that amount of size. We have seen those models go up at $580, $590 too. So Savaline is $669, and not sure of the model. I look at this and I think that looks like a downtown Toronto condo to me. Generally, like cheaper finishes on the cabinets. I don't know. To me, the lot is good on this one. 40 by 100. You've got those honey-colored floors again. I just don't think it dazzles you for the $669 price. There is something which we've talked about in the past called virtual staging, where you can take the photos of the property and actually insert furniture so people can imagine what their furniture might look like in the home. So it's hard to sell a vacant house, and the virtual staging has been a lot of fun. I'll put a link down below the video so you can check it out. Campbellville is $675. It's on a 508 by 118 lot. So it's actually, if you look at those dimensions properly, it's actually very wide, but not that deep property. Not that deep as it compares to the country. It's deep compared to anything in New Milton. Electric baseboard heat on this one, so we talked about that yesterday, but that's your options in the country, your oil or propane or electric. And $675 I think is in line with what else we've seen in the rural areas for this this type of property. So it's like Peru Road and stuff like that. It's very similar to that. I like Peru a bit better. Wet Loffer is $679, and so This one, 3,000 square feet backing onto a ravine at $679, seems like a really good deal. I don't have any photos, don't have any other information about it, but on paper, and the fact that it has hardwood floor on the main level, has a little den on the main, is all good stuff. 9-foot ceiling, so it's ticking the boxes so far from what I'm seeing. Agnew Crescent is $769, and this one also has 3,000 square feet, and it doesn't back onto any green space ravine. So when you're talking about the price difference here of almost $100,000, I'm very interested in seeing what the previous one has to offer, and that's the list for today. That's 13 properties, and I hope you learned something about bank sales and about the property values and some of the things that you may not notice from just looking at the listing. So have a great day, have a great week, and if you need anything, just reply to my emails, and I'll still check probably once every maybe 1 to 2 days, and I've got a team here who can certainly assist you as well. So have a great time, and we'll catch up with you next week.
See no doubt. Oh, I need attendance from my nurses around the clock. Yeah.